recording here also. Okay. So we missed a little bit. ఏదో ఇన్ఫో వచ్చిందండి, ఏం చేయాలి చూస్తారా? అది అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ ప్లాన్ రికార్డ్ అవ్వలేదట. only 4 minutes. 4 seconds. Okay, that's it. Okay. So for the record కాలేదు, ఇప్పుడు రెండుగా రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది. Okay, so we said very quick summary. Okay, so we didn't record this. The recording didn't work, so I'll repeat. Chapter 24 verse 67. षष्ठे से दारभावस्थे जातो दारसुखोच्युतः कीर्तिमान गुणवान मानी साहसी धनसंयुतः. If the sixth lord is in the seventh house, the person will not have marital bliss, happiness from spouse. He will be famous, he will be virtuous, he will be respected and honored, and he will be bold, and he will be wealthy. Now the explanation we gave is, if the sixth lord is in the seventh house, with respect to the seventh house, the 12th lord of losses is in Lagna. So there is some deprivation related to seventh house matter. So he has no marital happiness, some problem with respect to marriage. And Kirtiman, he is famous because from the fifth house of fame and following, the second lord of resources is in the third house of Upjaya. So he has a good chance of accumulating followers. Gunavan, why is he virtuous? From the ninth house, the 10th lord is a quadrant lord, is in the 11th house of gains and having Argada on the 9th house. So he is virtuous, he is dharmic, he may even be a fighter for dharma because the planet is sixth lord. Mani, he is respected here, he is respected in society, he is honored, he is honorable. Why? From the 10th house, the 9th lord is in the 10th house. A trine lord is in a quadrant from the 10th house of actions in the society and honored in the society. So he is honorable. Sahasi, why is he bold and adventurous? From the third house of boldness, the fourth lord is in fifth house. A quadrant lord is in a trine. So he is bold. Dhanasamyutaha, why is he wealthy? From the second house of wealth, the fifth lord of Purvapunya, a trine lord, he is in the sixth house of accumulation, sixth house of Upjaya. Sixth house is an Upjaya, sixth house accumulation. So especially from the second house of wealth, Upjayas are very relevant for accumulating wealth. Wealth is one thing that you accumulate. So from the second house, with the trine lord, fifth lord, the lord of Purvapunya being in the sixth house, he can be an accumulator of wealth. Now we are in the next verse. षष्ठे श्रेष्ठमके जातो रोगी शत्रुमरीषणाम परद्रव्याभिलाषी च परदार रतो शुचिः. If the sixth lord is in the eighth house, such a person is sick, he has a lot of diseases, he is inimical to people in general, he wants other people's money, and he is interested in other people's wives, and he is unclean. And we are passing it right now. If the sixth lord of diseases being in the eighth house of chronic troubles and in general tension and anxiety, there can be some health problems. He may not have good health. And why is he inimical to people? Why is he inimical to people? Yeah. From the seventh house of interactions, very good. He is basically from the house of interactions, seventh house. The sixth lord of losses is in the second house of, it's a Marakasthana. Also is the house of resources. So the person who is supposed to give resources for communication, relations with other people, he is not really conducive to relations. He is conducive to fighting. So he may not be good at relations with people. Instead, he may be a fighter. He may quarrel with people more. Yeah. 12th lord of losses, and also sixth house is the house of quarrels. So the lord of quarrels is having Agala, Marakasthana also is the house of resources. When the resources are deprived, it is death. That is how second house is Maraka. It is also the house of increasing its resources, providing the resources for it, providing the food for it. But this planet is not interested in providing food for 7th house. He is actually interested in depriving the 7th house, because he is the 12th lord from 7th house. So as a result, this person is not really good in relations with people. Instead, he is a fighter. He is argumentative, he is quarrelous. So the person quarrels with people. Paradadhyadhirashi, he wants other people's money. Why? Second house shows your money, right? 7th house shows other people, the people that you interact with. The second house from 7th house, which is the 8th house, that shows other people's money. So taking the other people's money as Lagna, the 11th lord is in the house, in the Lagna. Sorry, 11th lord, right? Not 12th house. From the 8th house. From the 8th house of other people's money. This planet is basically the 11th lord in Lagna. So basically he wants to increase the 8th house. He is actually the 11th lord in the 8th house. This is why 8th house is actually the house of easy money, inheriting money or something that you suddenly get from somebody else. See, from the 7th house as Lagna, other person as Lagna. The house of money has the lord of the house of law. The 12th lord is in the 2nd house. Forget 7th house. Suppose from Lagna, the 12th lord is in 2nd house. The person may lose money, because the planet of laws is kept in the house of wealth. So the person may lose some wealth. But this is happening from the 7th house here. So other people, this person may make other people lose some money, which means he is basically getting other people's money. So 8th house shows getting other people's money or getting easy money. Paradara dato shuchihi. Paradara dato shuchihi. He is interested in other people's spouses. Why is he interested in other people's spouses? For me? We are saying he is interested in other people's spouses. He is basically licentious in character. He pursues other ladies, wives of other people. Yeah. This could mean, like he's saying, I missed what you guys were laughing about, but he was saying, doesn't mean he has loose morals. This paradara rataha literally means interested in other people's wives, other people's spouses. It may mean the person has loose morals. It may mean so many things. Now let's see which one it could mean, right? It could mean loose morals. It could mean actually having lot of more sexual desire. It can mean lot of things. The actual reason can be anything. We have seen different flavors of this in different combinations so far. Now, if we pursue his line from the 9th house of dharma, morals and dharma, this planet is the 10th lord in the 12th house. Is it a good placement? Quadrant lord, but in the 12th house of laws. Is it good for being having good morals? From the 9th house as Lagna, the 10th lord of conduct. See, 9th house is the house of dharma, 10th house is the house of conduct. So 10th house from the 9th house is basically your conduct in dharmic matters relating to morals, moral issues. So that planet is in the 12th house from dharma, from 9th house, right? 8th house is the 12th from 9th. So 12th house is basically compromise, giving up something, loss. So he is not showing upholding great dharma. See, in the other case, previous combination, the 10th lord from 9th house was in the 11th house from 9th house. But here he is in the 12th house of loss, not in the house of gain. So he gives up morals, he compromises on the morals. So first of all, forget other people's wives, but in general he is not very moralistic. He is a slightly immoral kind of person. So that is one motivation for being interested in other people's wives. Now, what else? Does this planet, does it show interest in sexual pleasures, this particular planet? From the 12th house of pleasures in bed. This planet is 7th lord, basically interacting with people relating to 12th house. And in the 9th house, protecting it, in the 9th house of a trine basically. So this planet is good for 12th house. He is a quadrant lord in a trine, especially the 7th lord of relationship. So being the 7th lord from the 12th house of pleasures in bed, he basically, 7th house is the house of relations, interactions. So this planet represents relationships or interacting with people relating to just sex, relating to 12th house. And he is well placed from the 12th house. He is in a trine. So he can actually, he promotes pleasures in bed. In addition, he shows loose morals. So of course, if a planet promotes pleasures in bed, it doesn't necessarily mean interest in other people's wives. It may mean just he basically forces his wife to sleep with him a lot. That is also possible. But here, this planet is also from the 9th house badly placed. He shows bad conduct in moral matters. So combining both of them, he may be somebody who goes after other people's wives. He is actually an immoral person interested in physical pleasures. Yes. See, not do I. I also have my 6th lord in 8th house. My Saturn is my Aquarius. 6 lords are Saturn and Rahu. One lord is in 6th house, the other lord is in 8th house. See, this is a possibility. Don't worry if you have it. Right. See, yeah, these are just thumb rules. This is, yeah, there is a possibility of having this. If this is the combination, these are possible. Now, if you want to see the dharma of the person, you have to look at Navamsa also, right? How is the Navamsa? What is the strength, weakness of the Navamsa? For me? Yeah. The 9th lord is the dharma. You say a particular planet is badly placed from dharma, well, there are so many other possibilities. For example, 12th house from dharma is not necessarily loss of dharma. It may actually be studying dharma in a foreign country, which you and I may be doing to some extent. There are so many takes that you can have, right? And the 8th house is also the house of sadhana. So there are so many connotations to different houses. So you can't just go by these thumb rules. You have to look at various other charts. Swarjamsa, Navamsa, Dashamsa. See, the thing is, if you are looking in Rashi, 9th house is also father. It is so many things, Guru, so many things. So, it can mean a lot of things. For example, one simple possibility, taking 9th house as the house of Guru, the 10th lord in the 12th house. 10th lord is basically the planet of conduct, of karma. So this shows Guru's karma, or your father's karma. And he is in the 12th house. So Guru may be actually, 12th house is the house of moksha, or 12th house is the house of giving. So your guru or your father may be engaging in helping people basically, giving up everything for people. The karma that he engages in may involve a lot of sacrifice on his part. 12th house is basically the house of sacrificing yourself. So many possibilities are there. And unless you look at the relevant divisional charts also in addition to the Rashi chart, you can't really tell. And of course, not only that, who are aspecting, who are there, where are the other lords? We are talking about only one lord. Where is the 9th lord? Where is the 8th lord? Where is the 7th lord? Where is the Lagna lord? How is the relationship between Lagna lord and this planet? Where is your Lagna lord, for example? Your 6th lord is Venus, right? He is in Cancer. And where is Lagna lord? In 2nd house. So this 6th lord, this planet that we are talking about, is in a quadrant from the Lagna lord. So apart from Lagna, if you take things from Lagna lord, who shows your intelligence, he is basically in a quadrant. In my case also, he is with Lagna lord. This planet is with Lagna lord, in Pak Lagna. So there are so many other things that you can consider and should consider, but this is definitely a possibility. And there are hundreds of possible results. He is just focusing on some results in each case, so that you understand different angles to look at things. Okay, next. Sashthe che bhagyage jatah kasthapashana vikrayi. Pardon me? Oh, Ashiji. We missed Ashiji. He is unseen. Why is he unseen? How do you see cleanliness from? Fourth house is the house of sukha, comfort. How do you see how clean you are? Yeah, exactly. We are not sure. Is it talking about physically somebody who is not see, Or is it talking about unclean in the basically immoral? If it is immoral, we have already seen it. It makes sense to us, right? Now, physical cleanliness. Can he be somebody who doesn't wear good clothes and he is dirty? Is it possible? For me? Yeah, that is all from Lagna itself. So from Lagna, this is a Dusthana Lord in another Dusthana. So he is not basically conducive to Lagna. So it means he can have bad health and also he can have bad looks, he can have bad overall his being, which is shown by Lagna, is basically not favored by this planet. So being unclean is a possibility. He may not be wearing good clothes, he may not look good, he may have bad looks. There is something unkempt about him. Right. Overcoming obstacles and hostilities, yeah. Yeah, it can be somebody who doesn't care, who overcomes all obstacles, who basically focuses all his energy in his sadhana, that he doesn't really care about anything else. That is also a possibility. Yes, that is also a possibility. See, for example, if you take Ramakrishna Samhita, he didn't have the sixth lord in the 8th house, but his sixth lord and 8th lord were together. So there was a connection basically between the sixth, and they were in Lagna. The sixth lord and the 8th lord were in Lagna. He had Aquarius Lagna, the sixth lord Moon and the 8th lord Mercury were in Lagna. So Lagna is basically spoiled by the presence of sixth lord and 8th lord. So it is similar to what is mentioned in this verse. So he can be unclean, and he indeed wore really dirty clothes. The veshti that he wore, he just wore the same veshti even though it was very dirty for several weeks continuously. He looked very dirty, and he didn't care. He didn't care about what he was wearing. Some people basically are very conscious of taking a clean bath, wearing clean clothes before they sit down for meditation. He didn't care, and he was in this all the time. And sometimes even when his clothes just came off, when he was doing puja in front of the Kali, if his vesti just falls off also, he didn't care. He did not care about his physical condition. So not caring about physical condition also is a possibility if the sixth lord or 8th lord are involved with Lagna. Pardon me? So it should be interesting to see what influence is on his Lagna. The next verse is Shashthe se bhagyage jatah kastha pashana vikrayi vyavahare kvachidhanihi kvachid buddhischa jayate. Shashthe se bhagyage jatah. The sixth lord is in the 9th house. Kastha pashana vikrayi means kastha, wood. Pashana means stones. Vikrayi means seller. So he sells wood and stones, etc. Basically he sells all stuff. Vyavahare kvachid dhanihi. Vyavahare means in his dealings. Kvachid dhanihi. Little loss. Kvachid buddhischa jayate. And little gain. So sometimes gain, sometimes losses. It's basically mixed. He's not saying always loss or always gain. But there is a mixed result in his business and in his general dealing, in his karma. Okay. If the sixth lord is in the 9th house, why all this? Sixth lord is in the 9th house. He's basically selling wood, stones, etc. Why could that be the case? For me? Okay. Right. Right. 7th house is the house of business. So the planet is basically in the third house of initiative in the seventh house. So he can show some initiative in his business and he can be a businessman. But why all these odd things? Why all these odd things? There isn't any specific house for it, but the only thing is, sorry? Yeah. Basically, this kind of things, see, kastha, even though we say wood, it also has the connotation of basically wood used for burning a body. So, and this pasana, it is stone, it will also have the connotation of the, basically things needed for dead body. So, in general, this is not just somebody who sells wood or stones or pebbles, etc. This could mean somebody who deals with things that have an unfortunate connotation. He does business relating to articles of misfortune. That is basically how I will read this. And now, sorry?
What you said, those things fall under the aspect of 12th house, right? Because there is anything related to dead body.
See, the thing is, for those things, Saturn is a significator. Right? Saturn is.
From whose point of view, 12th house will be.
12th house will definitely be the right house.
Because this is going to be 7th from 12th.
From the house of business, 7th house, he is the 12th lord. So the business may be relating to 12th house kind of matter. So things relating to death, things relating to misfortunes, he may be dealing in those things. Or in the modern day, I mean, in US they don't burn the bodies, right? So in the modern day it may be somebody who sells, what are the things in which you put the dead body, what is it called? Coffin. People who sell those caskets or coffins, or people who offer funeral services, or people who offer plots for funeral, plots for final burial. So that kind of businesses are possible. But in general, doing a business which has some connotation of misfortune. Now, Vyavahare kvachit dhanihi kvachit buddhis jayate. In his work, in his dealings, he has some gains and some loss. Why? What do you see there? Why is it mixed? Why is it mixed? Swami? From the 11th house of gains you are seeing, okay? Okay. Okay, so from the 11th house of gains, he is in the 11th house, so he can give gains, but he is also the 8th lord, so he wants to give upset. He wants to give a roller coaster ride. So when it comes to the gains that he makes on account of his business, there is a roller coaster ride. There will be good times, there will be bad times. The next verse, 70. Sasthe se dasame bhave manavah kola vishrutah abhaktasya pidurvakta videseja sukhi bhavet. If the 6th lord is in the 10th house, manavaha, such a person, such a man, kola vishrutah means he is very famous, very well heard. Literally, Shruta means heard. Vishruta means well heard. That means he is famous. His name is very well known. Kula means his lineage, his family, his caste. It has different meanings, but bottom line is in his circle. He is basically well known in a circle. Abhaktasya. He is abhakta means non-believer. Pituhu. Father. He is basically not obedient to father. Abhaktasya pituhu. Fathers abhakta. And it's not bhakti in general to God or something. Specifically it says abhaktasya pituhu and then bhakta. So he is disobedient towards father. Does not obey his father. Vakta means speaker, good orator, eloquent, good orator. Try to answer. Okay. abhaktasya pituh vakta. Vakta means orator. Videshe cha sukhi bhavet. He will be happy in a foreign country. He will go to a foreign country and he will be happy there. So let's start each of this. Shashthe se dasme, okay. First result is the sixth lord is in the 10th house. The first result is famous in his circle. Why? Why is the sixth lord in the 10th house giving fame to this person? Yeah. Ubhaya Lord, house of fame from what? Yeah. 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 Yes, from the 10th house, if you take 10th house of honor and respect as Lagna, of conduct as Lagna, he is the 9th lord in Lagna. So he shows good karma and he shows good respect and honor. Apart from it, what else can you say? Swami? Yeah. Right? Ubhaya Lord in not in Lagna, Ubhaya Lord in 10th house. Right. So he is good for 10th house. But right. Now, if you see family from the 2nd house, how is he placed from the 2nd house of family? 5th lord in the 9th house. So again, he shows 5th house from the 2nd house shows fame in the family, following in the family. How well people in the family like him and follow him. So people in the family have a liking to him and they try to follow him. So he is famous in his family, and he has good honor, like Sheshu said. From the 10th house, he is, like you said, 10th house, 9th lord in Lagna, and from Lagna, an Ubhaya Lord in the 10th house. Now, why is he abhaktasya pituh? Why is his father disobedient to his father? Yeah. Yeah. Is it good or bad? But if you take 9th house as Lagna, does it tell about father, what kind of a person father is, or does it tell you about the relationship with father? The problem here is relationship with father. It's not normal. Normally you are obedient to your father, you listen to him. But this guy doesn't listen. So, should you take 9th house as Lagna or 7th house from 9th house? 7th house from 9th house is your relationship with father. 9th house is just father. Being the 10th lord in the 2nd house from 9th house, it was father having a good career and having good money, etc. But from the 7th house, from 9th house, it is 3rd house, this planet is 4th lord in 8th house. So, a quadrant lord but going into the sthana. So, he is giving good yoga. A quadrant lord in 8th house is not good. So, is this planet conducive to good relation with father? Not really. Right? So, that is the thing. Now, next thing is Vakta, orator. Why is he an orator? Which house shows oratory? 2nd house, house peace. The 5th lord in 9th house. If you take 2nd house as Lagna, he is the 5th lord in the 9th house. So he is a good speaker. He is very, very good orator. Then, what is the next one? Videshe sukhi bhavet. He is happy in foreign. He has a good life in a foreign country. How do you see that? Pardon me? From the 12th house of staying abroad, staying in a faraway country, he is the 7th lord in 11th house. So he is a quadrant lord in the 11th house of gains. So if he goes abroad, he will flourish well there. Also from the 9th house of fortune in a faraway country, he is a quadrant lord in the 2nd house. So either way, he is either in the 2nd house or in the 11th house. From both the houses conducive to foreign fortune. So he is basically, if he goes abroad, he is conducive to him. He is auspicious for him. The next line, the next verse. Sashthe se labhage jatah shatruto dhanamapnujat gunavan sahasi mani kintu putra sukhodhyatah. Sashthe se labhage jatah. If the 6th lord is in the 11th house, such a person, shatruto dhanamapnujat, he gets wealth from enemies. He gets wealth from enemies. Gunavan sahasi mani. Gunavan sahasi mani. He is virtuous, he is bold, mani, he is respected. Kintu putra sukhojyataha, but there is no happiness from children. Okay. Why? If the sixth lord is in the 11th house, he gets money from enemies. Why? Yeah. Yeah. So it shows obstacles faced by the enemy. So it shows enemies breaks being put on the enemy. So enemy is losing to him. Taking the sixth house as Lagna, he is Lagna Lord in the sixth house. So he makes his enemies fight. He gives trouble to his enemies. He gives trouble to his troubles, basically. Yeah, that's the thing. So basically he is somebody who is troublesome to his enemies. But why does he get wealth from enemies? Okay. Basically the planet is in the 11th house, so he should give gains, and he is also an Uktya Lord. Being the sixth lord, he can get that wealth from the enemy. That is possible. Yes. Yes. See, when you say he gets money from his enemies, it doesn't necessarily mean his enemies come and say, okay sir, now take this $1 million. What this really means is, he has to fight for money, and he will get money. He'll have to go to court, fight with some rivals for 10 years, and then get his wealth. Like that, basically. That's what you should read. That. I was waiting for you to say that. You said it indirectly. He has to fight, basically. That's what it means. Getting money from enemies. Getting other people's money has a different context. It can just mean you just get it easily, unexpectedly, like lottery or just inheritance or something. That one. But this combination is not that. This combination is fighting for your money and then getting it. The enemy never comes and surrenders money. He is not enemy then. The definition of enemy is not that. Yeah, fine, exactly. But at least the planet is in the 11th house, so there can be gain. Gunavan, why is he virtuous? Why does he have good character and good virtues? He is basically from the 9th house of dharma, of moral and guna. He is the 10th lord, he is a quadrant lord. He is in 3rd house. 3rd house of he is an Upachaya. So this is not really like some other combinations we have seen. It's not in the same league, but this is okay. The planet is, at least for dharma, he is a good planet. And he is not really in a Dusthana. He is not in 12th house or 8th house or something. He is in the 3rd house of growth. So 3rd house of initiative. So he will take some initiative relating to dharma. And being the 10th lord from 9th house, he shows conduct relating to morals. So his conduct, he shows some initiative relating to conduct relating to morals. So basically he is okay. He is basically moralistic, and he also shows some enthusiasm in spreading morals in the world. So he is a virtuous person. Pardon me? From what? Yeah. From the 4th house, this planet is 3rd lord in the 8th house, so it doesn't show a lot of learning. That is absolutely true. He may not be learned. That is not given here, but that is definitely a logical. For me? Yes, third lord from 4th house shows initiative in learning, but he is in the 8th house. So he may not have initiative, but at the same time, he may show initiative in learning occult knowledge, because 8th house is the house of occult. Gunavan is not about learning. Gunavan means somebody who is virtuous, who has good qualities, who has good dharma, good morals. He is basically moralistic. It doesn't show a very learned person. From the 4th house of learning, he is in the 8th house of occult. So the 11th house, being the 8th from 4th, it can show learning occult knowledge. So he may show initiative in learning occult knowledge. Being the third lord from fourth house, he shows initiative in learning, and being in the eighth house from fourth, he may show learning of occult knowledge. So he may show interest in occult knowledge, like astrology, etc. That is a possibility. The fifth lord is in the 11th house. What else? Then the last one. Oh, sorry, Mani. Pardon? No, actually we missed two things. Sahasi. He is bold. Why is he bold? From the third house, a quadrant lord is in a trine. Fourth lord is in the ninth house. Any house, if a planet is in the ninth house from that house, it protects that house. Unless his agenda is to ruin that house. Here, he is in the ninth house from the third house. So he tries to protect the house, third house of adventure, boldness, bravery, etc. And is he really not conducive to third house? No. He is a quadrant lord. He is not like eighth lord or something from it. So, being a quadrant lord and being in the ninth house of protection, he will protect the bravery of the person. The person will be very brave. So, Sahasi makes sense. Now, the other thing is Mani. Why is he respected in society? Why is he honorable? Where does honor and respect come from? 10th house of karma and honor, he is ninth lord and in the second house of sustaining it. So this planet is actually, being the ninth lord, is a very auspicious planet for the 10th house. And in being in the house of sustaining it and having Agra on the 10th house, you have good karma and good reputation, good fame, good honor, good status in the society. Okay. Last thing, Putra Sukhodjataha. He doesn't have happiness from children. Why? From the 5th house of children, this is the second lord in the 7th house. What does it show? Maraka. Second lord in the 7th house is a clear Maraka. So this planet is actually Maraka for child. So this does not really show quarrels with child or something. Actually that is also possible. We will come to that later. But from the child itself, taking child as Lagna, is a Maraka. So he can actually kill the child. Now, forget, second lord in the 7th house. So Maraka lord in another Maraka sthana. So he can actually give death of child. So he can take away a child. Now apart from it, how is the relationship with the child? Assuming child is still alive, how is the relationship with child? What house do you see for that relationship with children? 5th house is children, the 7th from that. So if you do that, the 11th house. So it's basically 8th lord in Lagna, right? So from the 11th house of relationship with child, being the 8th lord in Lagna, is it good? 8th lord being in Lagna, is it good for that matter? No, it's bad for that matter. So there can be some problems in the relationship with children. Okay. Now let's come to the last verse for today. Sasthe se vyaya bhavasthe vyasane vyayakrit sada vidvadveshi bhave jato jiva hinsa sutapparah. Sasthe se vyaya bhavasthe. If the 6th lord is in the 12th house, vyasane vyayakrit sada means, vyasana means bad habits, right? Like smoking, drinking, that kind of thing. Going to prostitutes, that kind of bad habits. Vyayakrit, one who does expenditure, sada, always. So he is always spending money on bad habits, on addictions. Vidvadveshi means he hates learned people. Bhavet jataha. Bhavet means will become like that. Jataha means a person born like this. Jiva hinsa asu tapparaha means he likes to torture living beings. So this is basically all bad qualities. Now why? If the 6th lord is in the 12th house, why does he spend money on addictions and bad habits? Well, the planet being the 6th lord shows enemies of the person, and one of the possibilities is internal enemy, all the weaknesses of the person. 6th house is also the house of weaknesses, all these problems like smoking, etc. 6th house is the basic house that shows all the weaknesses of the person that he has to fight. If you are a smoker, smoking is your enemy, it ruins your health, and also if you want to overcome it, you have to fight hard. So it's your enemy, it's a big enemy. So anyway, so 6th lord shows enemy and especially also addictions and weaknesses. 12th house shows the house of loss. So being in the 12th house, he gives loss, he gives expenditure on account of 6th house. Of course, this could also mean somebody who has to spend lot of money on litigation. But that is all given. But Parasara is giving another possibility, which is somebody who has to spend money on his vices, on his addiction. Somebody who smokes or drinks, he spends a lot of money on smoking and drinking. Sorry? Okay. Yeah, that is possible. That is possible. Yeah, no, what he is saying is that 12th house of loss, from that, 12th house of experience, from that, he is the 7th lord of interaction, relation. So basically, he may spend on his friends also. Yeah, or in general relationship, interaction, in general people, not just close friends. Right. So that is a possibility. Anyway, let's come back to what Tarasa said. First line is over. Vidvadveshi, he hates learned people. Why does he hate learned people? Why does he hate learned people? Learning comes from fourth house, right? But where does interaction with learning people come from? Okay. How do you see learned people? Our attitude towards learned people. The learning of the person you see from the fourth house. But how do you see one's attitude towards learned people? Third from? Why? Initiative in learning is one thing, but if there is a scholar, if there is a learned person, liking him or disliking him, attitude towards him, that is. Scholarship, your own scholarship again, your own scholarship comes from the fifth house. It's not really your attitude towards scholars. Your own, of course, this planet, being the second lord from the 8th house, from the 5th house of scholarship, this person does not value scholarship. So let's leave attitude towards scholars aside for a moment. What is his attitude towards scholarship? From the 5th house of scholarship, the second lord is in the 8th house. So one possibility is he does not really care about scholarship. Because he is a marker from 5th house. So he doesn't really value scholarship that much. So if that is the attitude, he may not really value other scholars as well. He does not want to get scholarship. He does not want to be a scholar. So he may not value other scholars. Okay. And another thing is actually Vidvadveshi can be interpreted not just as actually how did he interpret? He said he hostile to learned people. Yeah, that is a possibility. Vidvat means it can mean Vidwan, a learned person. It can also mean just learning. So Vidvadveshi can also mean a hater of scholarship, a hater of knowledge and scholarship. So somebody who does not believe in scholarship, etc., should know a lot of things. So that makes sense based on what we expect. Yeah, it is Uttara Yoga, definitely. But he is giving one kind of results here. It can mean somebody who fights and who basically, yeah. It can give good results also after some suffering. Jiva Hinsasu Tattaraha. He likes to torture living beings. Where does it come from? Why is he violent? Why does he give suffering to other beings? seventh house of interaction with other beings is 12th lord in the 6th house. So he basically he can give trouble to other people. He can give suffering to other people. He can give obstacles etc. to other beings. So basically he is not very considerate to other beings' suffering. He can give suffering to other beings because his nature is basically to fight with other beings. So with that we will end the 6th house. We will move on to the 7th house in the next class. Swami? Yeah. Exactly. That will definitely apply. Yes. That is a possibility. Yes, go ahead. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Again. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Is it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then going back. Uh-huh. Yes. But the thing is, it is happening because of the elliptical orbit, but apart from it, the fact is, Earth is going in an elliptical orbit, Jupiter is going in an elliptical orbit. So, one second. So the thing is, there is retrograde motion. So planets are, when you look from Earth, planets are not going uniformly like this. I mean, forget circular versus elliptical. Even in an elliptical orbit, planets are not going at a uniform rate. When viewed from Earth, they go forward, then they go backward. They go forward, they go backward. That is how planets go, right?
And also the elliptical rather than circle, because if you circle every house, they will be lost in
No. But what I am saying is, let's hypothetically say all planets are going in circular orbit. Still, what will happen is, when viewed from Earth, Earth is going like this around Earth, around Sun. The planet is going like this. So because of this relative motion, sometimes it is going forward, sometimes it may seem to be going backward. So there is when viewed from Earth, the planet is going forward, going backward, going forward, going backward, going forward, going backward. So effective motion of all this is, it takes 1 year to leave one sign. Basically it stays in one sign for 1 year. But it's going forward and it's going backward, then it's going forward again. So combining all of them is 1 year for Rashi, that is the speed. But when it's going forward, sometimes the speed may be higher, maybe 2 years. 1 year in 1 year it may go 2 Rashi. The speed may be double the speed. Sometimes it is negative. So when you add all of them together, the overall speed of the planet is whatever we normally assume. But no planet moves at a uniform speed with respect to Earth. So even assuming circular orbit and uniform speed with respect to Sun, still with respect to Earth, the speed is not uniform. So this is basically because both the things are moving in two different orbits. Even in circular there will be retrograde motion. Now the thing is, when there is retrograde motion, if a planet is in Capricorn and goes some distance in Capricorn, then comes back and goes again in Capricorn, you will see that the planet is spending 1 year in Capricorn. But here it's basically leaving Capricorn soon. It's basically becoming retrograde on the border of Capricorn Aquarius.
So is it going to go to Capricorn and come back to Capricorn and go reverse like this? It won't go.
No. It goes to Aquarius, then it comes back to Capricorn, right?
I didn't see it happen.
No, it should happen. It should happen. It will happen. It comes back to Capricorn and then it finally leaves next December or something, next November, December.
It's difficult right now with goes into
Okay.
Rashi, 117,
You see it, right?
4 months until it goes. Time is
ఓ తిరగట్లేదా ఏది ట్రై సరిపోయింది ఓ ఓ ఇదా ఇది ఓకే ఓకే ఐసి యా యా Yeah.
One chart having normal planets,
Yeah.
another chart having a person with different planets in retrograde.
Yeah.
Can you answer this?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Retrogression basically means that they have to struggle to make the effect come through. That means if it is, again it depends on what the, obviously the other rules like what he is owning and what he owns and where he is and other, those things matter. But if it is in a normal motion, then things come much easier compared to if in retrograde you have to put as much more effort to make those things. So if you see some chart without it and some chart with it, then this is basically the effort and hard work that you put. You just interpret it as more amount of hard work needed to make it.
And also the retrograde planets basically represent some strong desire from the previous life to put in that extra effort, which motivates you to put in that. See, he's going to be leaving Capricorn finally sometime in next December. Oh, this is my computer. Yeah, I always see in Telugu. Okay.
What it does is that he goes to June into the Aquarius into
See, let's see right now. I'll make a chart for right now. Okay. And go to Monday and say when does Jupiter change Rashi after. So he changes on May 1, right? Now okay, let's do one thing. Now let's go to let's say
he'll come back in
June 1, and then let's say when did he change after again?
August.
July 30. So July 30 he comes back to Capricorn.
And he's there for a while.
And then let's say August 1, and then let's say when does he change again? December 19. So he basically in May he goes to Aquarius, he stays there till July end. At the end of July he comes back to Capricorn and he stays there till, bottom line is he spends a long, and of course once he comes back to Capricorn he is still retrograde. He will remain retrograde for a long time. Approximately he is retrograde half the time. So he goes forward, he comes backward, he goes forward, he comes backward. It's basically like this. Now the thing is, sometimes what happens is the whole motion going forward and then coming back and then going forward again. That whole motion happens to be in one side, and sometimes it stretches across fine borders. Bottom line is half the time he is retrograde. Another half the time, for a while he is catching up. He basically, because he is going backward, his speed becomes zero. Then slowly he picks up speed. But once the speed becomes basically high, he travels a long distance. And then again speed slows down, it becomes zero, he starts going backward. So approximately half the time he is going backward. And this time the interesting thing is he changes sign during that period. That's it.
So what is the effect of Jupiter in this year?
It will be interesting. Basically, there will be a lot of change in colors. I mean, people who are running Jupiter Dasha, for whom Jupiter's transit is important, the results will change during the year. He will, for example, he won't give uniform results. He will be a different murti, he will be in a different house. So you have to basically split the year into different phases and see what's going on in each phase. Okay, so I'll restart the recording. Okay, I started recording again. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Yeah, please continue. Okay. So, Any chart you want to discuss or any questions you want to clarify? We haven't had the class in a long time. If you have any questions, I can take them, or with any chart. Okay. Before we see any charts, do you have any general questions that you want to discuss?
I have one, of course, it's again chart related. For Subramaniam, we said June, I was expecting him to get a job in December, December, January. So that didn't materialize yet.
January.
January. But effective after December 2nd, I thought he should get one because of the movement.
Okay.
So he didn't get one. Unless there is any other important chart, then this we can get.
Okay. What is the other chart?
I was given one of the one person that his wife they are in the work job divorce, so he was interested get resolved.
Okay, we'll see the divorce chart, and in the case of Subramaniam, because the dasha that you thought should give job, because you are saying that it's not over yet, so we'll hope that your prediction will still come true. There is still some time. So we'll see the divorce chart.
Mine is just battery is getting over when I was working.
Can you give me the data?
April 6,
April 6,
1971.
1971,
It's at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Ongol,
Ongol.
India.
Ongol. O-N-G-O-L-G. Ongol.
10 a.m.
India. Well, sharp or
Sharp
blunt.
because there's no minutes or anything.
10 a.m. Not sharp. 10 a.m. blunt.
Okay.
We had to sharpen it. 83 and 15, 30, right? Okay. Okay. So the data, how should I save it?
Madan.
Madan. Okay. So the data is 1971 April 6, 10 a.m. sharp. Ongol, India. 80 degrees 3 minutes east, 15 degrees 30 minutes north. Okay. So the question is, this person is on the verge of divorce, and he wants to know whether there is a propitiation he can do to patch up the issues and Under the marriage. Or what?
It's going on for like last 5 years.
last 5 years. Okay.
No, yeah, 4 to 5 years. It's in legal still going on, and his wife now willing to come back, whether it is whether it will be smooth.
Okay. So there is a legal issue, litigation going on relating to divorce for the last 5 or 6 years, and his wife is now interested in coming back, and he is wondering whether there is a good move or whether there are some problems. And if that is a good move, what propitiation he should do so that the second innings will go smoother. So that is basically the question. Let us see what's going on. First, when did he get married? Do you know when he got married?
Yeah, it's 19. I just my computer is shut down by force because of the battery.
Yeah. So you don't remember?
Now, yeah, that is 1996.
2000?
Sir, 1996.
Around 1996 also he married. So he's not sure. So it's basically Rahu Dasya. Antardasya we're not 100% sure, but probably Jupiter Antardasya, Rahu Jupiter. We are just using Mishotri in this chart. Okay. Now Rahu Dasya giving marriage, does it make sense? If this Navamsa is accurate, or does the Navamsa need to change? That is the question. Right?
Actually, I looked at Rashi, just now we learned like 6th Lord in 7th.
Yeah.
So, but there is a Parivartana there.
6th Lord in 7th. Where is 6th Lord in 7th?
Oh, sorry.
8th Lord in 7th.
8th Lord.
7th and 8th Lords have a Parivartana. It's actually quite bad.
It's a
Anyway.
possibility of divorce. 8th Lord in 7th. But there is a Parivartana there.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Parivartana
Oh,
between
sorry, I
7 is
just-
not good.
It's not good. It's not good. But let us ignore it for a moment. Let's just look at the Navamsa. Make sure that Navamsa Lagna is accurate before we proceed further, based on what we know. So Rahu Dasya gave marriage. Does it make sense?
We are on Nimshotri and you are not.
Oh, sorry. You know what? This is wrong. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Venus.
So the Dasya was Venus Dasya. He got married in the Venus Dasya, and 96, I had a different starting point.
What did you have?
Jupiter.
No, I was experimenting with Nimshotri Dasha started from Bhrugubindu, so
Okay.
that is why it was Jupiter. Okay. So
Venus can
Venus Ketu or Venus Mercury, we are not sure basically from what you said. But Venus Dasha give marriage. Can Venus Dasha give marriage?
Yeah, it's better now. Better is it?
No,
Can Venus Dasha give marriage if this Navamsa is accurate? Is this Navamsa acceptable?
the seventh from Lagna is the place in seventh house.
Yeah, in the Navamsa, he is the third lord. He is the UL lord and he is in the seventh house. So there is a good chance. So Venus Dasha giving, pardon me?
Venus
In the Navamsa chart, assuming that this time is accurate, of course, the window is actually quite big, so we don't really know if 10 a.m. time given is really accurate because 4.5 minutes and back is 9.5 minutes, forward is 4.5 minutes. So if this Navamsa makes sense, all we know is the error is within that 14-minute range. We don't know, we don't have a fine-tuned time yet based on what we know, but at least natal Navamsa is accurate. We don't know about later Tripravesh Navamsa of the current year, next year, but we know that natal Navamsa is reliable. Because Venus in the 7th house and he is the third lord, he is UL lord, so his Dasha giving marriage is perfectly logical. But now he is fighting, he is in litigation. What Dasha is running right now?
Moon.
And he said for the last 5 years or so, which is basically Moon Dasha. Ever since Moon Dasha started, he is fighting for divorce. Does it make sense?
He is a 12th lord with in A7.
For me?
12th lord in 9th actually.
He's 12th lord in 9th.
12th lord in 9th house, okay.
But you have A7 also. That A7 shows the interaction with
Yeah.
tangible interaction with this spouse lord.
Yeah.
But not the legal though. Legal is
Yeah.
the 6th house, right?
Yeah. Legally 6th house and A6 is litigation. Okay, so what is going on? So what is, okay, first of all, Moon is 12th lord of laws, so he is not really conducive to marriage, you can say, but he is in the 9th house of Dharma, but you can say it is also the Badhakasthana in the Navamsa, so he is basically 12th lord in Badhakasthana, so he is giving some trouble. But why is there litigation? Why is there 6th house result? Does it make sense? Why is there a 6th house result? Does it make any sense? For spousal marital relation, can you take the Karka as Lagna, like you take Moon for mother, Sun for father? Can you take the Karka as Lagna? What is the Karka? Who is the Karka? Venus. So can you take Venus as Lagna to see the relations with spouse?
Right.
So how is Moon then?
He is 6th lord in third.
He is?
6th lord in third.
He is the 6th lord in third house. So can he show litigation relating to marriage? Right? So when Venus is strong, you can actually consider Venus as Lagna apart from Lagna. According to what Parasara said, he actually gave for father, take the 9th house from Sun or 9th house from Lagna, for mother 4th house from Moon or from Lagna. Like that he basically gave the Karkas
But in this
for
case,
each thing.
Venus is not very strong. Right?
For me, he is in a
Venus
friendly
crisis
house.
would have been extremely
He is in a friendly house. Compared to the Lagna, whose Lord Sun is in 6th house in an inimical sign, Venus Lagna is stronger. He is basically in a friendly sign, and his dispositor is in Sagittarius.
Right.
It's not a friendly sign, but Saturn is stronger than Sun, and Venus is pretty strong in a friend. He's in an Adhimitra Sthana, so Venus is strong. So you can take Venus Lagna. So the fact that in Moon Dasha there is some litigation does make sense. But the thing is, what is the Antardasha right now?
And he is very pious, the person, and he said that the issue started from his wife.
Okay.
So that means so that also then taking 7.
Yeah. Good point, yeah. His point is taking the 7th house as Lagna. This is the 6th lord from that. So he is saying litigation was started by the spouse. What is the Antardasha right now?
Saturn.
Saturn. Guru Antardasha was quite bad because Guru is 8th Lord, he is also in Manakarka Sthana, 5th Lord in Manakarka Sthana, so Guru Antardasha is quite bad. But the current Antardasha of Saturn, is it bad? It's not that bad. He is actually 7th Lord. Saturn is the 7th Lord from Lagna in 5th house. Of course, he is 6th Lord also, but he is also 7th Lord. And he is in the 5th house. So he is actually decent. From Venus Lagna, Saturn is Lagna Lord in the 11th house. Is he good or bad? Very good. So this Antardasha does not actually show breaking of this. The
Lagna
current,
Lord is also in 12th, right?
Pardon me?
Another Lagna Lord is in 12th.
another Lagna Lord?
Yeah, Rahu, right? If you Venus...
Yeah, he is in the 8th house. But Dasha, Antardasha running is that of Saturn.
Okay.
That's why we are focusing on Saturn. And the next Antardasha is that of Mercury. Even though he is from Lagna, he is the 2nd and 11th Lord in 11th house. 11th house does not really show breaking of marriage or something. It actually shows fulfillment of the dharma. And he is in Arudha Lagna. And he doesn't really have anything to do with the A6. As a matter of fact, if you look at Mercury, he is in the 8th house from A6.
Right.
He shows breaking of the litigation. Right? And from Venus, even though he is 8th Lord, he is also the 5th Lord. Moreover, he is in the 5th house. So he is actually protecting, being in the 5th house, he is more of a 5th Lord than 8th Lord. So from Venus Lagna, he is in the 5th, he is the 5th Lord in 5th house. 5th house is the house of emotions, etc. Basically, he is the trine Lord. He is the Lord of Purva Punya, relating to marital relations shown by Venus. And from Lagna also, he is okay. He is actually 11th Lord in the 11th house. So the next Antardasha is good. The current Antardasha is good. The next Antardasha is good. So looking at these things, does it seem like this divorce will actually go through?
No.
Unlikely. Just astrologically speaking, it does not seem like this divorce will actually happen. So the overtures from his wife may actually materialize. He may actually patch up and get back together and let the bygones be bygones. Next couple of years are very conducive. Next year basically, year and a half, is conducive to getting back with the wife and starting a second innings in the marriage. Now. And also if you look from UL, from the UL, Venus is UL Lord, sorry, not Venus, Moon, he is basically a quadrant Lord in 7th house. The problem is being in the 7th house in Navamsa from UL. 7th house is a Margasthana. So Moon is in a Margasthana, right?
Are you looking at where Rasi or
Navamsa. If you,
7th from UL.
see, if you look at even in Rashi, Moon is the 12th Lord in UL. So he wants to give
Separate.
loss of this marriage.
Right.
But it's not a strong marka. In the Navamsa from UL, Moon is in the 7th house of Margasthana. So he tried to break the marriage. And
And he is Dasha Lord.
yeah, that's why I'm looking at Moon. But if you look at the Antardasha Lord Saturn, in the Navamsa, in the Rashi first, Saturn is in the 9th house from UL. He protects the marriage, right? And Mercury also is with him. His job is to protect the marriage. He is the 2nd Lord of sustaining the marriage. So it doesn't seem like they will break the marriage. They are not in Margasthana or something. Even in the Navamsa, Saturn is in the 3rd house. 3rd house doesn't show breaking of marriage. He is Yokarka from UL. And more importantly, the next Antardasha, which is going to come very soon, in a couple of months, Mercury, he is in the 9th house from UL in Navamsa, as well as Rashi. The planet in the 9th house from UL, especially in Rashi and Navamsa, he cannot break the marriage. He will most likely protect the marriage and keep it going. So it's very likely that if not in the next couple of months, at least after March, he will patch up. So there is an excellent chance that he will patch up. Now, how is the remaining dasha? Let's look at Moon dasha. Already whatever negative results Moon had to give, he already gave. But there are also positive results he can give. Right? So hopefully the worst is over. But how is the next dasha? Let's look at Mars dasha. How is Mars dasha? Is it good or bad? In the Rashi, Mars is the 7th Lord. He is in the 8th house. So he shows some problems. But if you focus on the Navamsa, because it can be any business or anything. If you focus on the Navamsa, Mars is Yogakaraka. He is the 4th and 9th lord. Right? And he is in the 3rd house, a Kamatrikona. And Mars in the 3rd is good. A Papagraha in the 3rd house. And he is in UL. He is in the UL. So, looking at these things, and 4th and 5th lords are together in UL, Mars and Jupiter. So, he is actually okay. Even from Venus Lagna, he is the 3rd and 10th lord in the 9th house. Basically, 10th lord in the 9th house. So, he is okay. So, looking at the next Dasha, Mars Dasha will be fine. Moon Dasha had some negative connotations, but it already gave the negative results. And it's anyway another 3 years. And the next few Antardashas look fine. So, it's very... it seems like if they patch up, things may work out okay. There may not be any major problems.
Because it's still mentally is going to be havoc because still runs the moon dasha, right?
Pardon me?
His mental.
Yeah, Moon Dasha, during the Moon Dasha, because
Still
Moon is in
13,
Badhakasthana from Navamsa Lagna, and from Venus Lagna he is the 6th lord, there is some bad lingering
Anxiety is
feeling.
there,
But
mental
the Antardashas of Mercury, Ketu and Venus are fine. Again, Sun Antardasha can be problematic, but the next few Antardashas, Saturn, Mercury, Ketu and Venus are fine for the marriage. So the thing is, within this Dasha, the negative, the worst is over. So within this Dasha, the reasonably better Antardashas are about to come. So he should be fine. Only Sun Antardasha I will be a little careful, because from the Dasha Lord, Sun is in Manakarkasthana, he is in 12th house. And he is Lagna Lord in 6th house. So there can be some, and he is, from Venus he is the 7th Lord in Manakarkasthana. So he is problematic. So there can be some problems in the Sun Antardasha in 2012 to basically 2013 first half.
That's long way to go.
Long way to go. But in general,
So by the time they are together, means they will be adjusted.
yeah.
Maybe
But it will probably be just some quarrels. But overall, it does not seem like this marriage will break. It seems like they will patch up. It seems like they will do okay. They will do fine. Even though they had a litigation until now for such a long time, I think they will do okay if they get back together. So I will be comfortable advising them to get back together. Now, is there any propitiation they can do? What is the propitiation they can do? What do you think? For me? Okay. Well, Mercury is the Antardasha Lord coming up, but who is the real key planet for this marriage? Who will sustain this marriage well? In the Navamsa, he is Yokarka. You can say Moon because Moon Dasha is running, but especially for marriage, if you look at the Rasi UL, the second lord from it is the important planet, right? He is Mercury, right? Mercury is the second lord from UL. Moreover, he is in the 9th house from UL in both Rasi and Navamsa, and his Antardasha is about to come. So looking at all these factors, is it a good idea to propitiate Mercury? So we can suggest propitiating Mercury. So what can he do for Mercury? Mercury is in one sign in Navamsa. So what do you, and in Rasi he is with Saturn. So this is Pakka Vishnu. So what can he do? He can do Vishnu Sahasranam. Basically he needs to propitiate Vishnu. So I will suggest reading Vishnu Sahasranam.
Kali, right?
Pardon me? Saturn according to Parasara can also show Vishnu. If you are looking at the mother, then Saturn is Kali. But Saturn can show Vishnu. Especially Saturn Mercury combination is Vishnu. And this Mercury in Gemini is Pakka Vishnu. So this is the best as far as marriage is concerned. If you can fast on Sundays, UL in Leo. If you can fast on Sundays and pray to Vishnu at the end of the day, that will be good. But in general, apart from fasting, whether he fasts or not, in general, if he basically does Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, that will be very good for him. Actually, I will suggest one thing. If you can do Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, if you can do with the, if you can basically do with Sarvamangala Mangalya, basically intersperse each verse with Sarvamangala Mangalya, like We say Sarvamangala Mangalya Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Saranye Triyambike Gauri Narayana Namaste Vishwam Vishnu Hakaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Grudbhava Bhutatma Bhut Bhavana. Then again Sarvamangala Mangalya Shive Sarvartha Sadhike, and then second verse of Vishwasnam. Like that, read Sarvamangala Mangalya Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Saranye Triyambike Gauri Narayana Namaste. That will also take care of moon dasha, moon in UL, etc. So if you intersperse with, if you do Sampudikarana with that particular verse,
Why that particular word?
just up to me. And in general, that is a,
For marriage,
you are talking about marriage and Mangalya of the auspiciousness basically in the marriage. So that verse basically comes to mind, Sarvamangal Mangalya, the verse for Lakshmi, or you can even say Gauri Narayana Namaste. So that verse, especially Vishwasnama, if you do Sampudikarana with a verse of the Devi, that is very, very powerful. Doing Sampudikarana of Vishnu with Lakshmi or with the Devi's shloka. And this particular shloka is particularly auspicious. If you want good auspicious results, it is good. Especially in this case, looking at moon also, moon's influence on UL also, and the fact that moon dasha is running, my intuition tells me that if he does with that particular verse, Sampudikarana with that particular verse, that will be very good for him. If you can do every day, or at least every Sunday and Wednesday, every Sunday and Wednesday if he can do, or any day if it is possible, that will be very good for him. So that is what I will recommend to him. And I think nothing else is needed. If he does that, he will be all set. Any other questions?
I have one very quick. On February 8:31 in the morning,
Yeah?
it's a Meena Lagnam,
February 8
8:31 a.m.
a.m. Okay?
It's a Meena Lagnam
His Meen Lagnam, okay?
with
Venus in Lagna?
Venus in Lagna, basically 8th Lord in Lagna,
Yeah.
a Muhurtam for Upnayanam.
Uh-huh.
I didn't set it, somebody set it, and they just invited me that day, and I said, looking at it, I asked them, they said, this is the first one we are going, the first occasion we are doing in our home, what should we do? Should I do anything before? So I said, generally, okay, you can go ahead and do Ganapati Homam, do some Ganapati Homam in the beginning once, and then before this occasion sometimes.
Yeah.
But Homam may be too much for them, so I said, do Ganapati Tarpanam.
Yeah.
I'll give you some audio for that, and you can do Ganapati Tarpanam at least.
Yeah.
That will take some half an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then I suggested them to propitiate Venus, because 8th Lord is in Lagna.
Yeah.
So is that a reasonably good suggestion, or should...
See, I'll give my honest advice.
Mhm.
My honest advice is, see, the 5th house of mantra has 5th lord in it with Ketu. That is all good. They are quite close. So 5th and 9th lords are together. Even though they are enemies and there is a lot of... This is a very tricky muhurta. But the thing is, it's okay. The fifth, even though they are enemies, 5th lord and 9th lord are together. Moon and Ketu quite close in the 5th house of mantra. So for mantropasana, this is decent. And Lagna having Venus is bad, but 8th house is the house of sadhana. And mantra, learning mantra is not just for fun. It is basically sadhana. It is struggle. Mantra sadhana is a struggle. It's basically overcoming an obstacle. So 8th lord being in Lagna, in my opinion, is not such a bad deal. For the person to actually engage in serious sadhana, it is okay. It is actually a blessing in disguise. But what I am really concerned about is Lagna is weak because Lagna Lord is hammered by Rahu. If you look at Jupiter, he is at 14 degree 1 minute in Capricorn, and Rahu is at 14 degree 55 minutes. So they are within 54 arc minutes, within the same degree.
Rahu is 14:55 minutes,
Yeah.
and Jupiter is
41.
Yeah.
about less than...
So there is basically a Guru Chandal yoga. This is actually quite bad. Actually, somebody I know, they wanted their son to, this is the right year for their son to get Upanayam. So somebody I met when I went to North Carolina, they wanted their son to get Upanayam. I strongly advised them, just forget it during this year, because Jupiter is with Rahu and he is in Neecha. Jupiter is an important planet for any Veda Mantra sadhana. Uchi Gayatri Mantra is a Veda Mantra. So Jupiter's strength is very important for any Mantra sadhana, especially Veda Mantras. And he's in Capricorn. He's weak there.
First thing is debilitated,
And he is debilitated and he is with Rahu. So this is a bad year. I told him this is a bad year, so maybe a few years later when Jupiter is strong you can do. Just take it easy, I told him. That was my honest advice. And here, not only Jupiter is in Neecha and he's with Rahu, they put him so close to Rahu. They picked a month when Jupiter is extremely close to Rahu. And not only that, they made Jupiter an important planet because he is the Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. If it was some other Lagna, Jupiter is not so important. Still, I will say as a Karaka, Jupiter is extremely important in Upanayana Muhurta, I will say. Without Jupiter's strength, it is quite bad. Here, he is not only an important Karaka, he is the Lagna Lord. So, and that too a weak Lagna because 8th Lord is in Lagna. So, I am not excited about that.
But he is with all good planets. I guess.
Well, he is with lot of planets. Sun is at 25 degrees, Mercury is at the beginning, Mars is at 9 degrees. So, nobody is really very close to him. He is basically by himself.
But one thing
Fighting
is
with Rahu.
when King Telli Muhurta, some Purohit said it. And
I know.
But
They
what
probably
happens
looked
is
at
they
Ashtama
just
Siddhi,
look at
all
the
that.
regular Panchanga, they don't look at the planet
Yes,
positions
yes,
at all.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they look at some positions but not as close like this.
I understand, yeah.
So, how about if I can suggest them? To
Right. So what I'll come to that part. So I'm not excited about this Muhurta. This is actually a very problematic Muhurta in my judgment. But who knows? Jupiter's Guru Chandala Yoga and Neecha, that can also give some good results if he is lucky. The best will be when Jupiter is with Rahu, you propitiate Sun.
Right.
Jupiter-Rahu combination further, Sun is the best. So tell them to read Aditya Hridayam at the beginning of before the procedure, at the sunrise time basically. This is after sunrise, right? This is 8:31. So before that basically, in the Brahmurta or during the sunrise time, tell them to chant Aditya Hridayam 3 times.
My personal honest view,
Yeah.
they will not do it. The reason? No,
That's their problem.
I know.
That's not my problem.
The reason is, if 8:31 is the Muhurta,
Yeah.
they will be hurrying to start the puja at 5 o'clock or
Okay.
6 o'clock and in that hurry and all
See,
these things. they
somebody,
practically may not.
if somebody can do, some priest
On
is
there we
doing
have
some
somebody
procedure.
sit down and
If
do
you
it.
ask me quite honestly, people do hours of ritual before Upayanam.
Correct.
But all you really need is a sadhaka of reasonable caliber, sitting there, meditate 5 minutes, and then at the exact muhurta, give the mantra. That is all you need. All the rest is just for satisfaction. It's basically a social event. This is more than a spiritual transmission
How
of
about if we
power.
suggest them to move the Lagna about 13 minutes before to Kumbham? Then it is...
Nah, I'm not that excited about that as well. I mean,
12th house is strong, 12th
Yeah.
house of giving up is strong materially, but then that's something good for sadhaka. I don't know.
that is actually not a bad suggestion at all. But the thing is, instead of actually setting a muhurta on a day that I am not really excited about, you do all that. But the thing is, irrespective of what muhurta they choose, in that muhurta basically Jupiter is not such an important planet. He is not Lagna Lord or something. But the thing is, the 5th Lord is in the 12th house, which is not bad. The 6th house of Siddhi has Moon and Ketu. So there will be, if that is the muhurta, there will be some level of Siddhi in whatever he does. But then is it a good thing or bad thing? I don't know. I don't know the chart of the person. So I don't really have any comments on your suggestion. But as a muhurta, that is a good muhurta. The second house of speech has Yokarka Venus. Venus becomes a Yokarka. The Lagna Lord Saturn is in 7th house aspecting. He gets Digbala. Lagna Lord gets Digbala. And the 12th house of Moksha and giving up. It is extremely strong, powerful. In a positive way or negative way, depends. But I think in a positive way. It is very powerful. So it becomes good. Still, I will strongly recommend when Jupiter is, you are doing in Neecha Guru with extremely close to Rahu, it is strongly recommended that you do Aditya Hridayam 3 times before you do this ritual. And whether they do it or not is up to them. But it is strongly recommended.
Okay. And the propitiating...
Otherwise, the thing is, see, they do so many rituals. They don't really mean much. Just for almost like fun. I don't know what the priest that they call will do, but most priests, they pretend as though none of the karmas were done since the birth. So they do Akshabhyasam, the Namakaranam, Akshabhyasam, all that. Basically, they pretend that the theory being,
Recap of
if you don't do everything,
Recap.
it's not good. Giving a mantra without doing all those rituals is not good. So, just to be safe, you do it. That is one theory. The other theory is just for fun basically, recapture everything, because now there is no more fun for him. He is going to do sadhana. He is basically away from all the social events for the next 10-15 years. He is going to do just sadhana. So just have fun, recapture everything in his life. But the bottom line is, it doesn't really do anything. So if, in my opinion, if they don't do anything, they just keep doing Adya Hridayam several times, or depending on whatever is the lagna, enhance the power of the lagna, do some sadhana, that is actually more powerful. Or let's say there is a priest who is going to give the mantra, or father who is going to give the mantra. Just spend a couple of hours chanting Gayatri mantra. Since the morning, basically sit from Brahma Muhurta till the Muhurta time, just chant Gayatri mantra, and then stop it and then impart the mantra to the person. It is actually much more powerful than all the rituals that these people do. But again, that is up to them and their priest to decide what to do. Bottom line is, this is not such a good Muhurta, and some propitiation of sun is needed. Either chanting of Aruna Prasna or Ajahadam is the best, 3 times. 3 times Ajahadam. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, so good luck to this person. Good luck. Okay, so with that we will end today's class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ఇందాక మీ వాడి గురించి చెప్పా చూడండి. అదే అంటే నాకు ప్రీస్ట్ చెప్పారనమాట. అంటే ఏం చెప్పారంటే వాళ్ళు, ఈ పాలిటిక్స్ దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ కామన్ ఇన్ టెంపుల్స్. ఒకళ్ళ పద్ధతి ఒకళ్ళకి నచ్చదు, రకరకాల పద్ధతులు ఉంటాయి. బేసికల్లీ ఈ ఏజ్ లో అడ్జస్ట్ అయ్యి ఉండటం,